And welcome back, Rio Grande Guardian viewers. So pleased to have you back. We are in Pharr, Texas today. I'm so pleased to say that the two individuals we are interviewing today, we have Victor Perez, Executive Director of the Pharr EDC. Victor, welcome.
Thank you, Steve, for inviting us and having this nice little talk with Mr. Millan.
Yes, of course. William Millan, Project Manager for Dekal Industrial Park.
Correct.
Welcome, William.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Let's kick it off with you, Victor. I know you've got some big announcements about all the great things that are happening in Pharr, specifically related to the Economic Development Corporation.
Right.
Kick things off.
Thank you, and so much again. Thank you, Steve, and this opportunity to share everything we're doing here in the city of Pharr and the Pharr EDC. I just want to share some projects that we've done already that we didn't get to share with the public, and this is the opportunity for us to do that. And so, for example, we had Mass Logistics February the 3rd. They came in, they did a new warehouse in South Pharr next to our produce park, and Mr. Garza is the one that's doing the development there, and a good friend of ours, like they all are, but mostly that was a good one. It's going to be 150,000 square feet warehouse. We also have Tractor Supply groundbreaking April the 28th that came in, and we're excited about Tractor Supply. A lot of people that do farming and want have accessibility to equipment. We're very glad to hear that, because it was one of the businesses that they were asking me to bring to the city of Pharr, and we made it happen. So that was great. And again, kudos to Tractor Supply. We're excited. We're helping them right now with hiring the people, their staff, for that store in South Pharr. So again, we're excited that we're being to participate there. We also had a McDonald's also there. We did a McDonald's groundbreaking on Dicker and Jackson. That's on the far side. Again, the people in South Pharr wanted and were requesting that we bring a McDonald's something closer to them over there. And so we made it happen, and we're excited because McDonald's people, Mr. Del Barrio Fred has been very helpful and cooperative, and we've been able to work with him, and his staff also helping him hire some of the employees. So we're excited. Another one I want to mention is the Triple H groundbreaking. That's an expansion. They're already there in South Pharr, but they decided to add and expand their business. And so one thing that we talk about, and I've heard it all, is not what makes a city and makes a community, and it's not just the new business, but it's the existing business that expand. And when they do that, that tells you something, right? There's something going on, something positive going on in the community that they want to continue to invest in this case, in the city of Pharr. And we're proud to be part of that, the Pharr EDC, again, with my board, our chairman, the mayor, Humberto Hernandez, and of course the city council. But it's exciting. It's exciting when we talk about this project and what we've done just in the last year or so. So another one, CIL, Mr. Garza, also investor here. He's very, CIL is Mr. Joaquin Spammer. And Mr. Spammer is invested in several communities here in the valley, but he's investing quite a bit this time, bringing a couple of big top Fortune companies to the city of Pharr, and the investment is huge. And so we gotta thank Mr. Spammer for continuing to invest in the city of Pharr. He's a great friend of the city of Pharr. He's also a great friend of the Pharr EDC. So we're excited on CEL, and we already did a groundbreaking. We can't wait till all these buildings start coming up and do our ribbon cuttings and come back again with you, Steve, and maybe have a little shot of when we do those ribbon cuttings. But we're excited. Last but the best here right now, we have a big investment here with our investors, and Mr. Millan here next to me is going to be sharing some information. That company, that investors under Dekal, and they're doing over $180 million investment there. And so he's going to share a little bit, but we're excited. We thank Mr. Millan. We thank his investor and his client that is going to make this happen. But this is going to create a lot of opportunities for jobs here in South Pharr, besides all the ones that I mentioned. So I'm glad again and excited to be here. We work so hard, and we have a couple other projects, Steve, that we'll be sharing with you, and we have a couple others that we're working on. We will, as a matter of fact, in North Pharr, we have a Starbucks. I can share that because it's already up and running. And then we have a couple other, businesses that are going to be coming in South Pharr. So, North Pharr, yeah.
Serious question before we move on to Mr. Millan. Victor, do you guys ever ease up?
No, we don't. Not with the mayor and the EDC board that we have. They're very, proactive. They one thing that I found out, and as we speak to these investors is that we're open for business. We're business friendly, city and EDC, and so when the people hear the good things that are happening in Pharr, the great city council we have, the great PDC board that we have, they know that they come in and invest, and they're gonna get the best treatment they can, the best service they can. So again, I'm excited, and we'll be back again with some more projects. Let me tell you, Steve.
It's great to catch up with you, Victor. It's we just turn around for five minutes and you've got another project to announce. It's really incredible.
No, and some people say you don't put it out. Well, we don't like to brag. We just good things. We just make things happen. But I think this is an opportunity now that we have Mr. Millan in this project come into town. It's a huge one, and we have a couple of those like that as well. So but we wanted to make sure that we brought it to the public and to our citizens in Pharr that their investors are coming because we have great leadership here. So. Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity again. So,
well, let's hear from Mr. Millan again. William Millan is project manager for Dekal Industrial Park. Tell us about your company first of all.
Well, our company, it's actually there are two companies joining forces to bring this project to life, and it's actually Delta Fresh and also Caliroy Fresh. There are two produce companies joining forces to get this project going on, and it's actually an industrial park, about 500,000 square feet on each side, in total 1 million square feet of warehousing. It's going to be combined approximately between refrigerated, frozen, and dry warehouses. So that's what Dekal Industrial Park is. So.
These two companies, are they locally owned or are they Mexican companies? Where are they based?
They're based out of Arizona, and they also hold their own warehouses there in Arizona and California. And here in Texas, we already own two other warehouses, refrigerated.
Where are the other two?
Here in Pharr.
In Pharr.
Yes.
So you've had a presence in the valley for
Yes.
some time.
Yes.
This new announcement, this new investment here, what difference is that going to make? Is that all about you've got more business, you need more space? Does it tell us that there's growth with those two companies?
What we've been seeing for years since we got here, it's that most of the companies that set up their offices here in Pharr area, what they do, they start leasing spaces by the pallet on the pros companies. They join other warehouses. They offer services for storage services, and what happens is that they keep investing in Mexico so they can keep growing their operations and also their production. So what happens is that they forget about infrastructure here in the valley, and once they realize that they need infrastructure, they start looking for land. They start looking for the warehouses, and by the end of the day, once they have their own warehouses, they ended up being too small for them. So they're usually built to meet their needs, but we saw a big opportunity that most of these companies, they don't have probably the resources to build a warehouse, and we saw the opportunity to bring other like investors so we can bring this project to the Pharr area.
Let me ask this: what do you put down the growth? What do you put the growth down to? Is this all about the impact of USMCA, the new trade agreement with Mexico and Canada? Is that bringing more opportunities? Is it perhaps the disruption to the supply chain in Asia and more business relocating here?
It is very important to know where we are located because we are actually on the east side of the United States. Mm-hmm. And most of the population of the United States is located on the east side. And also during the pandemic and also after the pandemic, most of the population on the west coast has been moving into the east coast as well. So this has been bringing a lot of growth, and also with the addition of the trade with Mexico, this area, it's our main gate for all the food that's coming from Mexico to the United States. And all the people has to keep eating. They don't stop eating. Mm-hmm. So we're here for that, to supply most of the produce. And Pharr has been very open arms for all the produce companies to come here compared to other ports of entry. in Texas. So that's what we put our eyes in the Pharr area because
it's very telling because you're saying that originally the companies are based in Arizona.
Yes.
That super highway gets built in Mexico from Sinaloa to Tamaulipas. That allows all the fresh produce from that state that it's bound for the east coast of the United States to come through the valley through Pharr rather than Arizona, and then the company says this is where we need to be.
Yes, correct. Well, most of the growth has been through the East Coast here in Texas, through Texas. So California is never going to be over. So it will continue also to grow, but the growth has been more potentially up here in Texas. So we see Texas as a big opportunity to keep growing our operations from Mexico and also here with infrastructure and also with most of the sales of import tomatoes, avocados, and we've seen all the companies that has been keep growing with their operations through Texas, and I haven't seen Arizona, but I know they keep growing as well. But the East Coast keeps growing with most of the people moving in. Yeah.
So you are the project manager for this industrial park. What's the time frame? What's your timeline here?
Well, we already started moving ground there, and also we want to start as soon as possible with the infrastructure for the street and subdivision, which is most of the services, drainage, water. We are already there, so we're going. So on the first warehouses that we're gonna build, we're gonna start as soon as we finished our street, but we are in the planning process, and we should have our first warehouse finished next year, 2023.
And how many in total? How many warehouses?
Well, it's not gonna be only one where we have different planning. It depends on how the market's gonna switch, because the market has been very active and also very it differs a lot on how specifically, because right now last year the demand was on the cold warehouses, and now is some of the dry warehouses. Right. But we want to go for dry, and then we want to refrigerate here and there. It depends how the demand is on each building. But the first buildings we want to build is about 250,000 square feet in total, and that's going to be right now.
That's interesting. You tell us about the shift in the demand in the marketplace. Yes. So you can go from 1 year everyone wants cold storage, and now the next year it's dry.
Yes. So we want to build buildings that are flexible on how the market is going to be. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, before we go back to Victor. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this project or any other work that you're doing?
Well, just to check our website, dekal.us, and we have more information there about the buildings and also some videos of how it's going to end up being built.
And one more shout out to Pharr EDC.
I appreciate a lot help of Victor and the whole team of the girls here in the economic development, and they've been very helpful in the whole process, and I appreciate that. And also they were very generous on bringing most of the incentives also. They have good packages to bring investments for these kind of projects.
So a big thumbs up to Pharr.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Well, Victor, you've heard that. You must be so pleased. There's a client of yours telling the story about how easy it is to do business in Pharr.
That's right. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, right? And he mentioned, that we work with them. We're here to do business with them. We don't turn anybody away. Of course, every project is different, and we will try to incentivize as much as we can. And that's what we are known for, is we will open our doors, and we'll try to help as much as possible. We know these are large investments that they invest in. We want to make sure that they feel comfortable that they have been treated right and given the best opportunity for them to succeed. I forgot to mention, Steve, and I'll mention right now some of my notes here that Karina had mentioned for me, but teampharr.net, our broadband project, would like to let everybody know in the public that our communities, from our residential to our small businesses to our corporate companies that are here, that they join and go into our website. We have all that information, the city of Pharr. We also have it on our website here in the EDC. So we'd like to let them know that please, if you have any information, call. I think the rates for residential start at minimum is $25 a month. when you get in 200, 300 gigs, that's more than anybody offers. So it's something that the mayor and EDC is funding that project. But we talked about that project and want to make sure, because after COVID and after everybody they're still doing online classrooms with the college and universities. They're doing instructional virtual instructions and meetings and so forth. So we want to make sure that you don't have that issue in the city of Pharr with our citizens and our school district. So we're promoting that, and we're hopefully everybody joins in, and that's another of the incentives that the mayor has done for initiatives that the mayor has done for the city of Pharr. Also, we have a couple other projects that are coming up. More business in the North Pharr, right around where the theater is, Papados. We have some more coming up on Nolana, and so we're really working. We're excited, and hopefully we'll meet up again, and we can share those next time we come up and meet up. So
before we end this, I'd like to go back to a question I asked William and put it to you as well, Victor. This growth that you're seeing in terms of manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, how much of that are you putting down at the EDC to the impact of USMCA? What do you think is driving this? Because it just seems as though it's just growth mode all the way.
Right, and one thing that I think Mr. Millan mentioned is the companies that they're going to go where they're going to be incentivized. They're going to go where there's land. They're going to go where people can open the doors to them and let them know. But one thing that we have here is a big plus is we have the land, we have the incentives, and we have the leadership that's willing to do and whatever we need to do to get those investors.
Labor.
Yes, cheaper labor. Exactly right, and so they know it, right? They're the ones that deal with this individuals, day to day. But actually, we have the number one bridge. I saw that just a couple of days ago, the number one bridge in produce crossings, and then we have the number three, and I think it was electronics and other. I mean, people think that our bridge just crosses produce. It doesn't. It crosses a lot of other, items that cross that bridge, and I think it was another ranking at 6 and a different level. So when you have a bridge like that, it kind of helps us and helps them, because that's where their clients can come through a bridge that's going to be an expansion, right? It's coming up too as well. So it's going to kind of, and with them, it's time is money. So when you want to get your goods across and get them out quickly, then we're going to have that bridge where it's going to be able to save some more time. And I think for them, that's what it means. Time is money. So we're excited. So
one of the biggest advantages of Pharr and the whole valley for the produce companies to be here is actually that this is the only area port of entry that actually has their own market, which means that you can import produce and you can still sell it here in this area, which means that the city has a lot of population that also consumes a lot of produce locally that was imported through here, and no other port of entry has that advantage. So that's very convenient for all of us.
That's interesting. You're saying of all the land ports,
yes,
between the US and Mexico, the Rio Grande Valley is the biggest market in and of itself. In the other ports of entry, you're passing through, yes, and going on to other urban areas.
Yes, the whole city. From here to Bronzeville, we have almost a population of almost a million, over a million. So what I'm saying is that most of those, there's no other port of entry that has all that population. So you can import it and sell it to, most of the produce that is imported is sold to Houston, Dallas, New York, Chicago, even to Canada. But you gotta meet some standards of quality and also shelf life. But if you bring other qualities and other shelf life, and probably it's left over because you didn't rotate the property inside the warehouses or whatever, and you can still sell it here, and that doesn't happen anywhere else.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, any closing remarks from either of you?
We can close it up.
No, we're happy to invest here in the Pharr area, and we're thrilled to start as soon as possible, and I know this is going to set a footprint for the whole area, and also we want to create a lot of jobs for sure, and we're thrilled to start as soon as possible and have everything leased out.
Remind us how many jobs that might be.
I think it was going to be like 1,000 jobs approximately, even more. That's only direct, plus all the indirect jobs that's going to create the construction and also the administration of the warehouses. You know.
No. I'm telling you, Steve, just Mr. Millan's, investor in his project, and we're excited because this could be huge. This is just one of the few that we're bringing here to the city of Pharr, but since they're the first ones to get going, and believe me, we have so much requests for, and he mentioned, cold storage, dry, dry storage. We were like, guys, we need you guys to get going. So, and we just had a conversation earlier before this interview that, I think they're ready to go. Now it's us to get moving, so, and help them get buildings up and about. So we're excited, and again, again, thank you for the opportunity, Steve, and the public. Thank you, and again, the great city of Pharr, Pharr EDC, moving forward. And if you all have any questions, please call us 956-402-4332, and we'll let you know of any incentives, any land that's available, anybody wants to invest. Then we have the personnel here to address those needs. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Victor Perez from Pharr EDC and William Millan from Dekal Industrial Park. Thank you so much for today's interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.